Welcome to the Nitpicking Nerds, Commander Tune-Ups, episode number 11.
Oh, yeah.
So we're in, I guess we're in double digits for
fully in double digits at this point.
1-1. Today, we're taking a look at something brand new. Brand spanking new from, what's this called? Allegiances?
Allegiance?
Is it Allegiance?
No, it's just Allegiances, apparently.
Ravnica Allegiances? Or Ravnica Allegiance? I don't know. Whatever.
Don't know, we just told you.
I haven't really been following the newest set, I feel like. But today, the commander is...
Okay, before we get into what the commander is, let's talk about what we're doing. We are tuning up a deck under certain restrictions for a person who has submitted a deck to us. This is Commander Tune-Ups. Did I miss anything? If you want to submit a deck, all you got to do is like, subscribe, love us, and comment your deck via tapped out link in the comment section, which can be located directly beneath this video.
That's all true. Yeah, we want your suggestions. Keep giving us suggestions so we can keep tuning up your decks.
Speaking of suggestions, and Joe's cheesy whatever that was, you can support us on Facebook, follow us on Tapped Out if you want to, Twitter, if you're a big fan. We have Patreon. Just saying.
You can support us on Patreon.
Link in the description. So what is this deck?
So this deck is Commander Grand Arbiter Magesson the Fourth. I know I couldn't.
What are we doing with said Arbiter?
Said Arbiter is not very important, but he is. Why don't we read him, and then we'll talk about.
Sure, we'll read the second most important card in this deck.
Yep.
Loading. Grand Arbiter, Magesson the Fourth, 2 white blue for a 2/3. Legendary creature, Human Advisor. White spells you play cost 1 less to cast. Blue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast.
The things that is really important here is your blue spells cost 1 less.
Yep. Their spells cost 1 more. It's an advisor. Why does any of this matter?
Why does it matter? Because we're playing a Persistent Petitioner deck. That's hard for me to say, and I don't know why.
I don't know either.
Persistent Petitioners deck.
The real commander, there's what? 28 of them?
27, 28.
27 and a half Persistent Petitioners. What do they do, you ask? Well, and why is there multiples? They are 1 and a blue for a 1/3. Human Advisor. Pay 1, tap. Target player puts the top card of their library into their graveyard. Okay. Tap 4 untapped advisors you control. Target player mills 12. Okay.
Now, hold on. Is that it?
Are you Marshall Sutcliffing this card right now?
Hold on. Is that it? Because this card sounds okay, but only having
you
one
are
of them...
Marshall Sutcliffing this card.
Only having
full on. It's like, that seems okay. I'd probably play it. It's a 1/3. But it has this other ability. A deck can have any number of cards named Persistent Petitioners. So what do you think, Luis?
Is that how he does it?
That's how he does it. Sorry. Marshall, if you're watching. Love you.
So that last line is
the deck.
Really important. So
27% of the deck is that.
It's got the Relentless Rats wording. So you get to play as many of these as you want, which means we're going to have some cool things you can't do in many EDH decks. Almost no EDH decks, actually, because this is a unique effect.
It is.
You're laughing at me saying you know, aren't you?
No, that's not what I was laughing at. Anyway.
You're lying.
So Magesson reached out to us and was like, hey, you can build this deck that hasn't been built before. I got no restrictions, which we were like, all right. And it's Persistent Petitioners. He's like, use whatever your commander you want. Although he had Grand Arbiter, but we think that's probably the best one.
Yeah, I agree.
The best one we could think of.
Yeah, it's possible we missed something.
Maybe in Esper, but...
Yeah, we didn't feel like digging too deep into the well. He's, on the surface, he's a really good commander for this deck. So.
True. Can't really go too wrong with it, especially when you get white.
Yeah.
So, no restrictions. We get to do whatever we want.
So let's be very clear.
Let's start with this is a.
Hold on, one thing. I want to say one thing before we get into our categories really quick. One thing, coming up at the end, because I just want to mention it now.
Okay.
This one little thing is that we kind of went crazy a little bit.
Did we?
A little bit.
With what? The price?
Yeah, we kind of just said,
if
we're making it as good as we can,
ridiculously high.
If we're making it sweet and good, we can add cool stuff. So there's like a Tundra in there.
There is a Tundra.
There is a Tundra. We put all the fetches that could be in the deck in the deck.
The deck's gonna be real expensive. Obviously, you can tune it down as you see fit. The core of it is not that expensive.
Yeah, the core is not bad at all. But when you start getting tundras and stuff and fetch lands, you start getting expensive. So let's get into it. What are we doing here first?
Card draw. Let me learn you right now. So, we're casting Persistent Petitioners for 1 blue mana. We got a bunch of them. Probably going to have 4 or 5 out at a time. They're not that big of threats in those small clusters, so we want to get more of them with card draw. Mass Appeal, 2 and a blue. Sorcery, draw a card for each human you control. They're all humans, so 3 mana, draw 4 or 5.
Your commander.
It's drawing you into more. Your commander makes it cost 1 less, so it's only 1 and a blue if you have Arbiter out. There's also Distant Melody, 3 and a blue. Choose a creature type, draw a card for each type you have. Basically the same card.
You could choose Advisor.
Refuel. You're going to have a lot of mana running around in this deck, as you'll see. This is just, on the surface, some of the coolest stuff you could do.
Yeah, that's unique. These are some cards that don't see too much play because usually when you're playing blue, you're not playing too much tribal unless you're in Merfolk.
I mean, you're not playing many sorceries in blue.
Yeah. Not playing many sorceries.
Creature matters. How many creature matter
sorceries? Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Blue decks.
Yeah, there's not many. Then we got some the classic enchantment.
Yeah, we don't even really need to read them. You
draw
know what they
spells.
do. They're annoying. They're
Mystic
taxing.
Grimoire, Rhystic Study.
The Mystic combo.
Rhystic really kind of
Rhystic is a tax, unless you're an idiot. Then you're going to let somebody win the game.
Scales with the idiocracy of your opponents.
And Mystic Remora is always draw, but for half the spells. All the good spells, anyway.
Yeah. Just more. This is classic blue card draw. Except for the first 2 are unique to this deck, and that you're not going to see those in much.
The next 2 are lame. Mystic and Rhystic are lame. The next 2, back to spice though. Blue Sun Zenith, X, blue, draw X cards. Target player draws X cards. Shuffle it in. Instant.
Doubles as a win con.
You can draw 3 cards. You can draw 10 cards. It's good at any point in the game. You can kill people with it, as you guys may know.
Yep.
What's our last one?
This deck can definitely kill with it. Our last one's really interesting.
You hate this card.
Is it Kindred Discovery, right?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if it was that Kindred or another name, but Kindred Discovery, which is 3 blue. When Kindred Discovery enchantment. When Kindred Discovery enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever the chosen creature type attacks, you draw a card, and whenever the chosen creature type enters the battlefield, draw a card. So every petitioner will draw your card.
Yeah, the chosen type is either human or advisor.
Yep. It doesn't even matter because Augustin's just a human advisor, right?
Yeah.
So it's not even gonna matter. I
You
don't
have to name one of them.
There's not really too many other creatures in this deck. A little tidbit here that I was thinking, like
What?
There was another human advisor that was like
Minister of Inquiries.
Yeah.
It was like really similar.
I'm just like, why is this not a petitioner? We made a petitioner.
It costs the same.
Yeah, it's gonna cost the same when you have Augusta now, and I don't. You just want more petitioners.
Yeah, I get it, but like, no.
Yeah.
No. I don't think we need it.
We'll talk later. More petitioners.
This is true. Next category. That was fast and easy. So, this is a combo deck. It's not a very crazy competitive, like, turn 4 kill you deck, but it is a combo deck, so we gotta protect the combo. Gotta do it.
We gotta protect.
How are we doing it?
Well, there's a lot of ways. Well, you're weak to board wipes.
You are.
Is
because
one thing.
You're just putting a bunch of 1/3s in
So
play
there's
that
a
don't
couple.
attack well.
So there's a couple ways to deal with board wipes. Once your stuff's gone, you can bring it all back with this. This is spicy in this deck. Like, some spice you get from white. Angel of Glory's Rise. 5 white. Flying 4/6. When Angel of Glory's Rise enters, return all humans from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Almost. I forgot the best clause.
What did I forget?
Exile all zombies.
And exile. How could I forget that you exile all zombies?
Reverse zombie apocalypse.
Yeah. So So you get all your humans back. You get all your advisors. This can help you combo off later. If say you've been you mill a lot, you can also mill yourself to put them in your graveyard.
True.
Then just return them.
Talk about some milling ourselves later.
Yeah. There's some cool things you could do in this deck.
Classic Dirtle. Teferi's protection. 2 and a white. Until your next turn, your life total can't change, and you have protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. They do not exist.
What's so funny about this card is, that's the wording. It is so much easier to understand when you just think about it. Your stuff just can't be interacted with, basically.
Yeah.
It's somewhat, and you can't be targeted.
Yeah.
That's
it's funny. You can still kill somebody even though they're Teferi protected. You just mill them.
Yeah, you can be milled
Their
out.
deck still exists.
Yeah, and they can draw cards. So so if all players are drawing cards, they draw cards, just means they can lose.
And their hand still exists. So if we don't have anything, but if something made you discard, It still works.
It's just funny that like this card's weird.
Protects you from almost everything, but it's really good. You're gonna want it. You're gonna need it to protect from board wipes and stuff. So.
It uses the word phasing. I had the.
Well, they brought back a bunch of mechanics for that.
Oh, it's
They kept bringing back as one-ofs, right? So
yeah.
phasing. The next one. I'll read the next one actually.
Yeah, why don't you?
This is Remembrance. 3 and a white for an enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, you may search your library for a copy of that creature. If you do, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. This is so weird.
Do you want to talk about a card that is, on the surface, absolutely useless in EDH?
It's complete trash.
Oh, it's so
Cares
so
about
bad.
multiple copies, but it is currently $5 because petitioners.
Yep, it is $5 simply because of petitioners.
You want this out, then you want to start playing petitioners, or you want to have like 2 petitioners out. Then you're playing this. Then you're playing petitioners, and they're gonna die. Things happen.
Yeah,
Accidents happen.
Board wipes happen. Toxic Deluge for 3. Ooh,
Sure, I'll get
But oh my God,
3 more petitioners, so you don't even care. If anything, it's better.
Yep,
This
and
is perfect for protecting that combo.
yeah, you gotta protect yourself because you do. If you just let your petitioners die and then you have an empty hand, guess what? You lose the game.
Or if you just have an empty hand at any point in any game of Commander, you're probably losing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, when have you ever felt good about having an empty hand?
Um,
Never. Okay. Now we've got some counter spells.
Never.
What better way to protect from board wipes and surgical extraction than to just counter them?
you're in blue.
You are.
This is just classic.
Classic.
Let's just list the 3 counter spells. What are the main counter spells in this deck? List the
Arcane
main ones.
Denial. We list this one all the time. Counterspell. How do you not know what counterspell does? And Muddle the Mixture, which we will actually read. It is blue counter an instant or sorcery spell, but also has transmute for 1 blue, so you get to pay 3, discard it, search your deck for a 2-drop, put it into your hand,
I know what costs 2. Cyclonic Rift.
among other things that we will get into very shortly, because we're almost there. In fact, why don't we mosey on over to an early segment of winning the game.
Yes. So let's. One thing about this deck that I want to mention, like right off the bat here, this deck is a combo deck in the end.
Yeah, we did that.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
Through and through.
Yep.
Why are you?
We just said that. It's just funny.
Sorry.
Like, it still is.
It's-
From this point on, we did not change it. It's actually still a combo deck.
Yeah, I mean that's what this deck is. It's through and through a combo deck, and it really
Can't win without cheese.
you're gonna do a lot of unique things, like
Yeah, mostly.
yeah, you're doing some cool things.
50-50. We'll say 50-50 on unique things.
Yep. So let's get right into it. Going into the winning the games category here, we're starting off with our gourmet bagel, Thrumming Stone.
This card is nuts.
This card is nuts in this deck.
Almost wins you the game. You just need, like, a little tiny push, and then you win.
Thrumming Stone is 5 generic mana, 4. Is it a legendary artifact?
Obviously. It's
Okay.
the Thrumming Stone.
Sorry. This is the Thrumming Stone. 4. A legendary artifact. Your spells you cast have Ripple 4.
Another completely useless commander ability.
Another-
It was printed on, like, 6 cards.
It-
Except this one is $32 because of petitioners.
Yep.
And rats.
And rats. Yeah, it's gone up because of rats. Now petitioners have spiked it again.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Except they're
every
better
time-
than rats because they have an ability that does not require summoning sickness to use.
These are definitely better than rats. And this is
So cast petitioners. Okay, trigger on Ripple 4. Let's say I reveal Island, Petitioners, Island. Okay, well, I'll cast petitioners for free. Islands go on the bottom. Now I triggered Ripple again because it doesn't care where you cast it from. Ripple again. Look. Find one. Cool. Bottom. Ripple again. Look. Find one. Bottom. So you're going to cast 20 until you whiff? Like 20 petitioners, something like that. So maybe even all of them?
yeah. But the thing is, even if you whiff, you most likely get to do it again. You probably have another one in your hand.
Yeah. I mean, how don't you?
No, yeah,
At some point you could. Like, very easily to have one in your hand.
there are a lot of them in this deck.
Yeah, 27, 28.
27, 28. One day we'll know the real number.
We could easily look it up, but we're just not. We're just gonna leave it up to.
It's up in the air. The
Yeah.
deck list in the description.
We're forcing them to check the deck
If
list.
you
like,
want to know if
I
there's
think it's
27 or
28.
28,
I
why
wouldn't.
don't you check the deck list?
I wouldn't
below.
put 27. I'm gonna like and subscribe. Oh man,
All right. So
card's insane. Absolutely gourmet bagel. Helps you win with a gust of wind.
yes,
A gustin of wind.
You don't need much to win after you have this. But moving on, another card we've had in a lot of our combo decks: Paradox Engine. 5 mana, 4.
Another legendary artifact
obviously legendary artifact
with one
4.
line of text that matters a lot.
Yep. Whenever you cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents you control.
All of them. Mana rocks. Petitioners to mill more people
Yep.
or yourself. That's. I mean, I was gonna list more things, but that's actually just it. That's all you need.
Yeah, you can just keep you can tap all your petitioners, mill somebody. Let's say you have 8. Mill someone 24. Untap all your petitioners from a spell. Mill someone 24.
Every spell mills them 24. It's like a super version of like a Jace emblem.
Yep, you can mill real fast.
Okay. Target one person out. Just kick one person out of the game. Don't mill individually. That's not how you win. Not with a combo deck. If you can only kill one person, kill who's in. Like if you have, I have 120 mil like stuff in play. Kill one person.
Here's another thing. You're targeting one person, you can actually target yourself with this deck.
That is very true.
Mill yourself out very quickly.
For what purpose? What if our opponents have Eldrazi in their deck, or some sort of stupid card that shuffles in whenever, like Blightsteel Colossus?
Oh, well, if they have stuff like that, then when we're milling ourselves, we can get ourselves down to a point where we can win. So, how could we do that?
Must be Laboratory Maniac, right? That card's really good. And totally not obsolete in Commander.
Hold on. Yeah. Let's talk about a
hot take.
Nitpicking Nerds hot take. Lab Man is not very good in Commander.
Don't play him anymore.
And the card that replaces him now is Nexus of Fate. This card is better. This card does not die to removal.
Or Rest in Peace. Or anything. Yes. It's not even a trigger. It doesn't even trigger.
Yes, it just shuffles back in. It's a replacement effect.
Nexus of Fate. 5 blue instant. Take an extra turn after this one. If it would be put into a graveyard from anywhere, reveal it, and shuffle it into your library instead.
Yep. So this just keeps going back into
not
your
even a trigger.
Deck. It's not even a trigger. And like I said, you mill yourself out. You get to take infinite turns. Then
I'll mill myself 100. Okay, my whole deck is in the grave. Oh, Nexus of Fate's in the grave. Well, now it's the only card in my deck.
Yep.
Draw any card and play it. Okay, extra turn. Cool. Goes on top of your deck because it's the only card in your deck. Draw a card for your extra turn. Oh, it's Nexus of Fate.
Yeah.
Infinite combats, infinite mills. Do whatever you got to do. Now you're going to win.
Yeah. You also have... So, we were talking about those pesky Eldorazis.
Those Kozilek? Oh, man.
Well, we have Rest in Peace in the deck for those. Yep. Just because you really feel like you need
funny.
that. Sometimes
Rest in Peace is like... Usually it's like, but sometimes we mill ourselves. Or like, Angel of Glory's Rise. Like, it's worth it. It just hoses decks.
Rest in Peace can hose a lot of decks in EDH. Like, hard.
I agree.
Like...
Completely.
Yeah.
What's our next combo piece then?
Wow, I mean this is just a throw-in.
CEDH favorite.
Yeah, this is
a Dramatic Scepter combo.
Dramatic Scepter.
Let's explain it for those who might not know.
It's boring, but go ahead.
Oh, it's boring as heck. So we have Isochron Scepter, 2-mana artifact with imprint. When it ETBs, you may exile an instant card, only instants, with converted mana cost 2 or less from your hand. It goes under this kinda. Pay 2 and tap it. You may copy this exiled card. If you do, cast it without paying its mana cost. So, I mean, you can see, you can do a Rift or a Swords, or maybe even Dramatic Reversal, which is 1 in a blue. Instant, untap all non-land permanents you control. So you can imagine a world where I have 3 mana worth of artifacts, and I have Dramatic Scepter, and I go tap my Soul Ring and my Azorius Signet, and now I'll tap Scepter, make Dramatic Reversal, untap the Mana Rocks and Scepter, infinite mana.
Yep. Blue Sun Zenith wins from here.
Blue Sun Zenith wins. I mean, you have infinite mana, so like, what doesn't win?
There's a lot of wins from here.
You also have infinite storm, like infinite spells are being cast. So with Paradox Engine, you get infinite untaps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can win with a ham sandwich at this point.
Yeah,
it's really
easy to win from here.
So Muddle the Mixture. Coming back to it, tutors up both of these, which is why Muddle the Mixture is in this deck.
Yep, it's also just a counterspell.
Yeah, that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, it's just a counterspell that
Gravy.
Can help you out. It's on top of all of that.
Also, so we got like a bunch of different combos. Even if they're disrupting your mill plan, you've got like random infinite mana Blue Sun Zenith combos over here, and like Nexus of Fate infinite turn combos as a backup to the Blue Sun Zenith infinite mana combos, which is a backup to the Persistent Petitioners mill plan.
Yes, there's a lot going on in this deck, and it's interesting in that way.
It's the ogre of. It's very like ogre-like. There's a lot of layers to it.
Yes, very ogre-like. Just when I think layers, I think ogres.
Yeah. What else? Like onions, you could think too.
Onions and cake.
Would be the next thing. Cake. What's one of our other cheesy cards here?
Intruder Alarm. Now this card will literally let you go mill crazy, especially if you start. So you just pull it. You get your. Especially if you
Intruder Alert. That's what I picture.
So, Intruder. Let's read Intruder Alarm,
please.
Intruder Alarm is 2 blue enchantment. Creatures do not untap during their controller's untap step. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures.
All of them. Who cares? We're uncapping our guys.
Yes. So tap it for petitioners.
Mill you 12.
Play a petitioner. Also, Intruder Limb, Thrumming Stone. What we can do right here, you're gonna ripple. They'll all end up on the stack, and each time one enters, they'll untap all the other ones. So you go mill 4. Now probably just mill 4. Then you get to your 8 and your.
You gun them down. They're done.
They're done. Everyone's gonna die here, unless they have an Eldrazi. But even then, you have rest in peace. You have stuff like that. You have backup plans. Start milling yourself. Get to one of your combos.
Oh yeah, easy peasy. So now we need to tutor up all these stupid, janky ways to win. We mentioned Muddle the Mixture. You know it. You love it by now. You're like, this is the coolest thing ever. I love Transmute.
Yeah, Transmute is an interesting ability.
It's weird that all the costs are the same.
That it's like one blue, one black,
one
black.
XX, yeah.
Yeah, one XX. Yeah, it is interesting. Muddle the Mixture is a weird card. That card that I've never really played too much of. Good? But it is just good. I agree. Like, the fact that on top of being this awesome tutor spell,
there is a Joe Cherries on top.
There's a Joe Cherries right on top.
Right. If you look close enough,
it says it is a counterspell.
Yes.
Like it can just protect your combos.
Other tutors, Enlightened Tutor.
This gets everything.
One white, instant. Search your library for an artifact or enchantment. Wow, we have a lot of those. And reveal it. Put it on top. Then shuffle.
There are so many combo pieces that are artifacts and enchantments in the deck.
Thrumming Stone, Intruder Alarm,
Paradox Engine,
Isochron Scepter.
There's just
that's a lot. Even Rest in Peace if you need it.
Even Rest in Peace, yeah. You might need that at some points.
Even Kindred Discovery if you want to draw cards.
Yeah, exactly. It's
such a good card.
In this deck, that tutor is real insane. How about
spicy?
This is funny. So me and BZ last second we came up with Spellseeker.
Yeah. Which is 2 and a blue, 1/1. When it ETBs, search your library for an instant or sorcery with mana cost 2 or less and put it in your hand.
So we came up with this last second, and BC's like, "Oh man, I don't know if we have room for it." And I'm like, "Yeah, maybe we don't." And then we just like, "Oh wait, let's list what it gets." We listed like 4 or 5 cards. It's like, all right, it just has to be. This card is insanely good in EDH. It always
staple.
It kind of gets overlooked sometimes because sometimes just like, oh, look, it's like 3 or 4 things. It's like, yeah, but one of them. Let's remember,
it's Enlightened Tutor.
In blue decks, you can always get Cyclonica for this card, which is so
lame.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, they kind of took a stance against it, and then they were like, "Here's the best way to find it."
Yeah, here's this creature tutor that is so versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
so it just gets riffed. It should say, "Get an instant or sorcery 2 or less." That's not Cyclonic Rifts. That's what it should say.
Because it actually costs 7.
Yeah, they should errata that card.
And we have Worse Enlightened Tutor,
which is
Fabricate,
which does
2 blue. Search your deck for an artifact, put it in your hand.
It's fine. It'll get the job done.
It's good.
Most of
it
the
gets the job done. It'll get you their combo piece. It'll get what you need. Costs a little more expensive, but it doesn't put it on top.
Yes, you just get it right away.
You can. Right to your hand.
Those are our degenerate combos. That is what we're doing. That is the best way we can think to build this deck in the amount of time we had.
Yeah, and right? Again, this deck also, on top of that, this isn't even a CEDH deck. Like, it's not like we didn't sit here.
It has Dramatic Scepter, but it does not make it.
It has a Dramatic Scepter combo. It has some things, but like, I don't know. I'll be honest. If me and BC are gonna build a CEDH deck, I don't know what we'd do.
No, So
it's not what we do for Commander.
Here's the thing about CEDH decks: they don't have 36 win cons like we do. They have literally 2, and they just kind of like, okay, here's one of them. Protect it. You're dead.
Yeah, and that's not what we're doing.
No, we have 28 of the same crappy card in here, trying to milk people.
Yeah,
trying to style on them.
Our decks have fun flair to them that CEDH decks do not have.
Yeah, we're so much cooler than any CEDH people out there. Totally.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
And that's what I just said right now on camera.
On camera, so that can't be taken back.
All right, beef aside, moving to the conclusion, we have no beef. We're not big enough to have beef. I think I've said that before, actually.
Have you?
I feel like I have. Anyway, conclusion. Price of the editions.
You haven't seen this number?
Nope. We've got a record on the tune-up series.
He just saw this number for the first time, and he can't stop himself from laughing.
$989.11. So, plan out your piggy bank.
350 of it is Tundra.
350? So, 1% of this deck is a third of the price of the editions.
I know. I was laughing when I was looking at the editions. Like, It was also like the fetch lands are like something like $300 together. So it's not even like it's like $600 in lands.
Mana Crypt is in here.
Mana Crypt it's basically all just us being silly and
Yeah,
just
the
and
only-
basically tuning the mana base to be like as good as it can be.
Here's the expensive cards in the deck. There's like Intruder Alarm is 30, and Storming Stone is like 30. That's it.
And
Everything else is
those
trash.
cards are important to this
Paradox
deck.
Engine
There's-
is 20. They're all good. Everything else is like $1.
Yeah. Oh, for real. This
Right.
deck is not expensive.
Original average CMC 2.60. Now it's 2.51. Whatever. It's a little bit easier. We made 30 changes. Half of them were lands. 4 of them
Yeah.
were Persistent Petitioners.
What's this man's name?
Mage's son.
Mage's son.
You know,
So,
Mage. He's his son.
He put together a good looking deck.
Mana base was great. We just said we have no restrictions. Why wouldn't we just pimp it out?
Yeah. He did put together a good deck. Like we said, we did not have to make a ton of changes to
Right.
this deck.
30 sounds like a lot, but 12 of them are just
We
like
more
random land upgrades. Like, oh, plains could be tundra. Like, I guess in an ideal world, plains could be tundra. But it's not Mage's son's fault.
we were talking about having like a multiple win cons. You had a couple too many. You had the Lab Man. We don't like Lab Man.
Get him out.
Get that next fade in
We
there.
got Approach, Second Son. What else did we cut? We cut Austere Command. We didn't like as a board wipe.
To be fair, we kind of settled on you're either comboing and protecting the combo, or you're just not. We kind of went that route because realistically, what you have to sacrifice something when it comes to playing
You have
petitioners.
27 slots in your deck that are not
So
helping you.
we decided what really is getting cut here is the removal.
Less removal.
You're gonna have a lot less removal, and cantrips are another thing
No
that
preordains.
we didn't really have any room to fit in this deck. You have some removal. You have like Cyclonic Rift, obviously.
Non-artifact ramp. Like, there's no Search for Cantor. There's no Solemn Simulacrum. There's no Knight of the White Orchid.
Yeah, we took.
Don't find
Yeah,
room.
we took
Don't
those out. We kind of streamlined it.
Whoa. Not scripted.
Yeah,
Not
that,
scripted.
that actually wasn't. We streamlined it into, and it's not like this deck is like just like do one thing. It's do the same thing in like 15 different ways, and it's interesting in that way. Because the deck would be boring if it was just like, well, we're gonna do one thing, and we're gonna do it every time.
True. So we added Gilded Lotus, Coalition Relic, Mana Vault, Mana Crypt, obviously.
Yep.
For this Paradox engine to make it the best it possibly could be.
Yeah, you want this Paradox engine to be good.
Maybe Chromox should be in the deck. We couldn't find room for it.
Again,
It's a consideration.
it is hard to fit everything you want in the deck that has 28% taking up
Yeah.
by petitioners and petitioners only.
True. And so I think those were the changes. That is what we wanted to get off our chest here.
This was
I had a lot of fun. This deck is weird and crazy, and it's unique. It's basically its own
This deck-
archetype.
Oh yeah, it's definitely unique. And it's something brand new. How cool is it?
Finally.
Like we usually don't get to do these
We got
brand new decks.
brand spanking new. I love these new ones. Submit the new ones. All you got to do, be subscribed, comment, tapped out link in the description, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah,
That's how everyone gets on tune-ups. That's how every tune-up, aside for the first one, has gone.
yeah. That's how you get on here. You leave your deck, and we tune it up. That's what we do.
End of the show. Shout out to our one and only patron, Adam D. Rhodes.
Still
You're
our
the boss.
favorite.
Still our favorite. Not even close. We'll just make this joke. If we're holding the last 30 seconds of this video hostage until we get another patron, we're just going to make the same stupid jokes.
Shout out to our favorite Patreon.
Ugh. Okay, that's it. And we're going to see you probably next time.
Yeah.
That's a good time, you think? Is that good for you?
Checking my fake watch. Yeah.
Okay,
I
yeah.
think
We'll
we're
see you next
good.
time then. Yeah.
Yeah.